Okay, so the next question is add two numbers. Now, this is a very good question and it is actually asked in interviews as well. So I really, really like this question. So, the question goes by the name add two arrays. Okay, so the input will basically give you two arrays. ARR1, for example, 567, and ARR of 2, that means 3, 4, maybe 1, okay, or 1, 6 maybe. Okay, so what you have to do is in the output you have to tell the addition of the two arrays. Okay, how do you add two numbers? 567, 3, 4, 1, 2. You add the two numbers, it's going to be 9, or let's say make it 4 over here as well. Okay, so this will be what? 4, and then you have 7, 2, 9, 6, 4, 10, 1, 0, 1, 4. So over here in the output array, you have to do this. Now don't go ahead and start converting this array into an integer, convert this array into an integer and then store the result in array list. Okay, don't do that. This is not what is expected of you to do in this question, right? You have to figure out a way to be able to add the two array values, okay, considering them to be as a number, assuming them to be as a number, right? And then giving the output, which is going to be the addition of both the arrays. Okay, this is one example. The other example is, for example, ARR1 is 99, okay, and ARR2 is maybe 999, something like this. Okay, so in this case, the output should be this. Okay, so this is what the question is. You're given two arrays, you have to present the summation of the two arrays and present it in the output. Okay, let's see together now how we can solve this question. Okay, so for this question, let's probably take the example of 5, 6, 7, and we can say 3, 4, 4, 6. This is array 1, this is array 2. Now again, this question also is a very typical, I would say, question to understand the use cases of array list, right? In this question itself also, we cannot predict the number of elements in the output. It could actually be equal to 4. It could actually be equal to 5, right? We cannot really say what exactly are the number of elements in the output. So hence it makes sense to say that the output is going to be stored inside a array list. Okay, point number 1. Now point number 2 is that what you know already is that elements always get started to be added from the ones digit, then the tens are added, and then the hundreds, and so on. So we are kind of going to apply the same process as well. Another thing to note is that we also have a carry variable we pass as well while we are trying to add the numbers. So what I will do is I will take two variables, I, which is going to be pointing at the very end of the array, j also the very end of the array, because these are the elements you actually add first. I am also going to create an answer array list which will have our final answer, right? And along with that, I will also keep a carry variable which will contain the carry value whenever the sum is of double digit. Okay, initially the value inside the carry will be 0. Okay, now once I actually set up and define all the variables, I will run a loop and say till the time while I is greater than 0 or j is greater than 0. If any of them are greater than 0, what I will do is I will basically sum the values at the ith index, jth index, and whatever is there in the carry value. Okay, so that is what I am going to do. What will happen is there will be a sum variable, right, which will take the value, let's say initially 0, right? I will add a 7 to it, I will add a 6 to it, and I will add the carry value to it. Carry value is 0 only. So what will happen is sum will basically turn out to be 13 over here. Correct? Now understand, we actually had 3, 4, 4, 2 over here, although it was 6, doesn't matter. Now what will happen is the moment you get a sum 13, you know that 3 is the value which goes into the output, and 1 is the value which becomes a part of the carry. Okay, so from 13, if I have to extract the value 3 and 10, first of all, if I do 3 mod 10, okay, it will give me the value 3, which is the remainder which will be added over here. And if I do 3 by 10, it will give me the value 1, which is actually the value in carry. Okay, so what you do is you actually simply add 3 at the very start of the array, okay, or the start of the array list, and update the carry value to 1. Okay, and similarly move forward. How do you move forward? You do I minus minus and you do j minus minus. Okay, now in this case you will again take the sum variable, right? Initially the sum value is 0. Now we have 6. Now we have 4 to be added, and also the carry value to be added. What is the total sum value over here? 11. So the sum I basically got was 11. If I do the mod over here of 11, I will basically get the last one, the ones at the ones place. And if I do the division over here, right, what I will basically get is 1 only. Okay, so the carry value will be updated. It was already 1, it will be updated to 1. And in the output array list, right, in the answer array list, at the very first index, now I will add a 1. So the moment I add 1 at the very first index, 1 will be added over here and 3 will be shifted by position. Okay, because we also have to make sure that the output in the same order. Okay, now next again we move forward. We do I minus minus, we do j minus minus. Okay, and do the addition operation again. Sum value will be reset to 0. Sum, I will add 5 to it, this value. I will add 4 to it, this value, and I will add the carry value to it, which will basically give me the sum over here, which is 10. Okay, now from 10, if I do the mod, I will get 0. If I do by, I will get 1. Okay, so what will happen is 0 over here will basically be going into the answer array list. So I will be adding 0 in the start, and 1 and 3 will be moved, and this one will be used as a carry. So the carry value was already 1, just update it to 1 again. Okay, now again, till the time, like I said, you keep doing this process until both the array do not end. Okay, so in this case, I has gone over here and j goes over here. Now you take the sum variable again, you have 0. Okay, plus you add the value at I. There is nothing at I, so skip it. Add the value at j, which is 3. Add the value at carry, which is 1 over here. Okay, so in this case, what will happen over here is the sum value will be 4. The moment you do 4 by 10, right, the remainder will be 4 and there will be no carry value. So in this case, what will happen is 0 will go over here, and I would say 4 will basically be added in the answer array list. So just add 4 in the very start and 0, 1, 3 will be moved, right? Now again do I minus minus. So I kind of comes over here at -2 and j comes over here. Now is the point when both the arrays have been fully, I would say, iterated and utilized. So you simply stop at this point, and that is how at this point of time you have your output also, which is 4013. Now there is one more corner case to it which can come, so I will show that as well. Many students do forget to encounter that, or like keep that in mind. Like you don't just stop where I stop, you actually have to do one step forward than that. Okay, so let's say I do I pointer over here, j pointer over here, carry value initially 0, right? And this is your answer array list. So you add the value at I. If it is not negative, you add the value at j, you add the value at carry. Okay, this is 18. So 8 stays over here and the carry value goes to 1. Okay, now I comes over here and j comes over here. So they are being reduced. Now 9 and 9. So this is sum again. Sum is again 9 plus 9 plus 1 from the carry value, which is 19. So the 9 goes over here in the very start. Okay, and 1 basically is a part of carry. So update the carry value to 1. Now you do I minus minus and then you do j minus minus. Now at this point of time, you calculate the sum again. Nothing is in I because it's negative. So just add the j value, which is 9, add the carry value, which is 1. Okay. Now at this point of time, what will happen is 9 plus 1 is 0. 9 plus 1 is 10. So 0 will stay over here and the carry value 1 will be updated. Okay. Now if I would have followed the previous approach, I would have moved one step over here, like one step more negative. J goes over here, right? What you will see is I and j both are again at negative values. So we can just ideally stop at this point, okay? But don't do that. Don't stop just over here. This is not the final output. Once you see that this while loop has basically ended, what you should also check in the end is, does carry has anything or not? In this case, carry actually had the value 0. So it didn't, make any difference. But in this case, carry has the value 1. So you also have to check this condition after the while loops completes and add that carry in the very start so that you can have the final output. Okay. So make sure this case is also encountered. After completing the while loop, also make sure to check the value in the carry. If it is not 0, that means it's greater than 0. You have to account for that carry value and add it to the output as well. Okay. And this is how you solve the question, adding two arrays. All right, let's see. The question is add two arrays. Okay, so over here, we have, let's say, the two arrays. The other array. And whatever is the output, we will print it. First of all, I will create a new array list. Int carry value is initially 0. Int I is equal to int j is equal to greater than equal to 0. J is greater than equal to 0. Int sum is equal to carry. If I is greater than equal to 0, sum is I. Okay, if I is greater than equal to 0, that means a valid index. So please make it contribute to the output. You can also do this. If j is greater than equal to 0, make j contribute to the output as well. Okay, and make sure you then add the carry value also. Okay, now what remains in the answer array list is what you get by mod. What remains as a part of carry or what goes into carry is this. Okay, and then in the answer array list, you always, like I said, whatever value you get, you always add it towards the start. Okay, and then you keep moving forward, I minus minus, j minus minus. What we discussed very quickly in the last example was that once you come out of this, don't just stop over here and say this is your output. Check the carry value. If the carry value is not 0, you have to make sure you add the carry value to the output as well. And now you are ready to return the output. Okay, where you can send the final answer. 1 second, this has to go inside. Sorry, no, this is fine. This will be not returning Boolean. It will be actually returning an array list of integers. Let's run this. And okay, it says 1, 2, and 5. It probably missed a value. My bad. This has to be or and not and. Let's see now. And you can see, there you go. You have your output. Okay. So this is how you have to solve the question of adding two numbers. Let's maybe test out this scenario as well. Right, and you have your output, which is very beautifully written, and you can see all the cases are covered here as well.